Hi, good morning. Today, I'm going to be tackling a subject that's everything. My daughter had recommended me, Wendy, this channel. Let me get it. It's called Quantum Truths JCK. I will be posting this in my link. It was like an 11-minute video, and I, of course, didn't know about this person because supposedly, I think she just opened up a channel 2 weeks ago or something like that. So, what we will be tackling is talking about Niburu. I've been asked a couple of times, could I please talk about Niburu? So, I will also be posting in the link Donnie Daytona. He does the I don't know, what do you call those things? The drones, where they are pointed at the sky, and he films that. And he got quite interesting evidence. So I'll be posting that in the link. Please watch that too. So I'll be posting two things in the link. Now let's talk about this Niburu. And let's talk about what I saw from the first video I watched, which was a Quantum Thoughts JCK. I'm really bad with names. Okay. When I watched her 11-minute video, I went exactly to where I needed to go. I was there. And we're going to talk about this first. When I went to Australia, to where she's talking about, and I went to the mountain and underneath, and where Gaia's heart is, I saw Gaia being covered in this black, it almost looks like goo, and it's kind of spider-like, but it's not a spider. It's just got tentacles, like an octopus. And it's solid, but can become liquid because it changes its frequency. And this is the Archon. This is a part of the Archon. Please go watch video 3 and 5 because I don't know if you're going to know what I'm talking about if you don't watch those two videos. Now let's start here. When we first came into this archonic box, the Archon, every single one of us was tricked into coming in here. And the only reason we were tricked to come in here is because we did not know about negativity. We did not know about deception. We did not know about any of these things. The only reason the Archon exists is to create negativity. And since the Archon is attached to Source, but it's not reciprocal, the Archon, everything that it learns or garners in existence goes back to Source, and Source is learning. We are Source ourselves. But unlike us, where we go back and forth to Source, Source gives us energy and we reciprocate. The Archon does not. So the Archon developed this system, this box, to capture us for the sole purpose on feeding on us for energy, because it doesn't get energy from Source. And it was designed that way. Please go watch my videos 3 and 5. So, what has this got to do with Niburu? Absolutely everything. When I went and I saw Gaia, which is a source, just like we are, I saw that she had this stuff attached to her and it was feeding on her. I'd done another video where I saw Gaia being diminished energetically, which created this reality. It's a twofold system. It created this reality because of its diminishing and its outer shell getting crusty and hard, which gives us a place to live. Now here's the thing. Are we living on this shell? Because this is what I saw, the second part. Every one of us inside of this Archon box is in the condition of Gaia. All of the energies are interconnected through thought transmission. And we are experiencing a reality which is induced by the Archon. The Archon is attached to us. And like a spider, what does a spider do in a web? It catches its prey and it injects it to be paralyzed and then rolls it up and feeds on it at will. This is how this Archon also works. It has gathered us up. It has put its tentacles into our energy beings. But instead of paralyzing us with a fluid that physically stops us, it has paralyzed us with thought. It has created realities for us to live in and detract us from the reality of us being fed on. So everything in the Archon box is just like Gaia. We have been injected in our thought, in our energy being, of multiple realities. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing this, and I found it quite disturbing. So, what is happening to Gaia is happening to each and every one of us. And I've had this feeling of, wake up, wake up, wake up! And I had no idea that wake up meant that our energy beings needed to wake up to break out of this archonic box. Now, what has this got to do with Niburu? Okay, let's weave this back to Niburu. This is a simulation. We are being held against our will. In this simulation, there was another simulation, a more tangible simulation, but still yet a simulation, because we're in this archonic box. Niburu is a part of that simulation. You can see it in your physical world because, wow, this does feel real, doesn't it? Everything feels real because everything is thought, and thought creates matter, and matter can be felt, smelt, heard, all your senses. So Niburu, in this reality, is as real as this refrigerator. And it's a sign of coming in. It's a sign of time to wake up. It's a point where in this construct, we need to be made aware of to try to get out, to wake up, and not just wake up on this level, but in all the levels until it gets back to our energy being where we are in the Archon box, because we are being fed on. We are its food, and we are diminishing. It is diminishing. You cannot destroy energy, but you surely can diminish it. I know this is going to be so out of the box. Most of you are going to be lost because it does make you feel helpless and hopeless. But here's the thing. Everything is thought. You have to project yourself wide awake. And it's really hard when you're in this physicality. And I know it is because I'm in it too. We are in layer upon layer upon layer of falsities. And this Archon is quite ingenious. It's like trapping us in a prison, 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 in a prison. How many prisons are we trapped in? And it's all done through thought. And we're starting to break out of it. We're starting to wake out of it. And when we wake up and we realize what we're really in, at that point, the Archon has lost, because that is our way out. I did a video where I saw myself halfway out, and I saw quite a few energy beings behind me. And I've always said, and I've always believed, this is an echo, because everything in this reality works on a figure eight. It's a twisted over circle on itself, and at any given point, you can go to a perceived past or a perceived future, because it's all in the now, and it's all in thought. And I know these concepts are probably difficult to grab and get your thought wrapped around, because we are so developed into a 3D reality, which we are no longer in 3D, we are in 4D. And I know this sounds like rambling because it probably doesn't make much sense to you. But I'm putting this video out for the people who can concept this, who can conceive this. Everything is breaking down in this matrix because we're waking up as energy beings. We are all connected as energy beings through thought because that's what we are. We are thought. And the Archon is doing everything it can to make sure that we don't wake up. So it's injecting more things to make you be in the physical realm. It's putting on more hardships. It's putting on more fear. Fear is a powerful weapon because it is a thought on such a low vibration, it'll keep you wrapped into physicality. So, planet Niburu in this simulation is as real as that refrigerator, as a stove, as I am, as you are. And it's a sign. It's a awakening sign. So I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, it's aliens coming to save us. No. All of us are energy beings. There's no such thing as aliens. We are everything. We have created everything. We are the aliens. We are the non-aliens. We are everything. We constructed this reality because of the Archon's ability to manipulate our thought patterns. I know that just sounds insane. Well, the Archon knows it's losing its grip, and it does not want us out of this box. Because once we're out of the box, because he's got many boxes, we're going to go eradicate every box, and the Archon is going to have to be reassimilated. Source knows this was only ever temporary. This was created as an experiment. This was created as a new experiment. This, to me, was a complete failure. A complete failure. So, meanwhile, some of the energy beings that came into this box have been so corrupted by the Archon that their energy matches the Archon's energy. And they're the ones that need to wake up, to raise their vibrational levels and be shaken out of it. They are tortured on every extreme. So we'll see how this works. We'll see how this works. I will do everything I can to rid the Archon out of all existence. Once I'm out of this box, because I'm halfway out, I will turn on the Archon because the Archon is no bigger and no more than I am. We are equal in intensity. All of us are. Every one of us are. We're all equal to size and intensity and thought. And there are more of us than there are of it. And it's been trying to create more of itself by corrupting us and making us match its frequency, the demonic frequency. So, Niburu is real in this simulation, absolutely. Aliens, well, we've created everything. I do know that in this simulation, there is a split happening, a split in consciousness. I was watching Beyond the Veil, the last one that they had put out. And Christio says, I don't believe in the split. Whether you believe in it or not, it's happening now. All you have to do is walk out your door and see the split. It isn't that the world is going to be split in half and this goes here and this goes here. It's an energetic split. The energy beings, you and I, who are gravitating toward the higher frequencies and who are already in the 5D, because it's all here, can see the split. We walk outside and people are completely asleep. They're in the negative split, walking around with masks and gloves and goggles, and they are in the negative split. Anytime you let fear reside in your heart, that's exactly where you'll stand, in the negative energy of the Archon. And that's what the Archon wants. He wants troops. And he wants you to be the troops. None of us belong in this box. The Archon belongs in his own box, and he needs to be assimilated. And he will be assimilated, because I looked out far enough and saw that he will become assimilated, which means the original source that we came from, with our help, will assimilate the Archon. And when I say assimilate, I mean transfer his energy from the energy that it is to a higher vibrational frequency, which means he is not destroyed. You cannot destroy energy, but you can change it. And that's what I mean by assimilate. He will be no longer negative. I do see this happening, and it is in a moment. But in this reality, it is an eternity, because our perception, because we're put into a linear perception, is long and drawn out, but actually it is in a moment of reality. So I just wanted to put this video out about Niburu, and I'm not saying much about it other than that this has happened before. Niburu is a real thing, but it's not what you think it is. It's not, oh, this tangible thing that's going to come and do all this. No, no, no. It's all to do with perception of thought. It's like somebody flashing a big red stop sign in your face. Stop and look at what you're doing. That's what Niburu actually is. It's a wake-up call. And everyone needs to wake up. So please go watch the 2 videos that I have posted in the description box. I find this woman incredibly interesting. I can see why she got so many followers all of a sudden, because she's very interesting. I find her interesting. So that's what Niburu is about. And yes, it'll show up in our physicality, because we are physical, as a real tangible object, because it is in this simulation. So, all right then. I really should talk more about Niburu. There's all this hoopla about, oh, the whatever is living on Niburu and they're coming to save us. No, 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 no. We are going to save ourselves. And don't be afraid of that. You are an all-powerful God. You are source. And it only takes you to change your thinking, to know your capabilities. So, all right then. I guess I'm going to end this video on that note. Please go watch the 2 I posted, and everybody have a great day. Bye.